You know that feeling at 2 a.m. when your mind won't stop racing? Your heart's pounding, your thoughts are spinning about tomorrow's deadline, and you're staring at the ceiling wondering why you can't just fall asleep. That's cortisol keeping you wired when you desperately need rest. I've been there. During one particularly demanding work period, I'd lie awake, replaying every stressful moment from the day. And what I didn't realize was that my poor sleep was making my stress worse, creating this vicious cycle I couldn't break. Tonight, you'll learn exactly how sleep reduces your stress hormones, which foods help versus hurt your sleep quality, and the real truth about alcohol and sleep. I'll give you a practical checklist at the end so you can start improving your sleep tonight. How sleep actually reduces your stress. Let me explain what's actually happening in your body when you sleep well. During quality sleep, your cortisol levels drop significantly. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and when it stays elevated, you feel anxious, irritable, and overwhelmed. Sleep is when your body finally gets to turn down that stress response. Research on shift workers shows us just how important this is. When people have consistently poor sleep over time, their cortisol regulation starts declining. Their bodies lose the ability to properly manage stress hormones, which means they feel more stressed even when facing the same challenges as before. REM sleep plays a crucial role here. This is the stage where your brain processes emotions and builds stress resilience. When you get enough REM sleep, you wake up better equipped to handle whatever the day throws at you. Without it, small problems feel like major crises. I tracked my own stress levels during weeks when I slept well versus weeks when I didn't. The difference was striking. After good sleep weeks, I could handle difficult conversations calmly. After poor sleep weeks, minor inconveniences felt unbearable. Here's what makes this challenging. Stress disrupts sleep, and poor sleep increases stress. It's a cycle that feeds itself. When you're stressed, falling asleep becomes harder. When you don't sleep well, your stress response gets more sensitive. Your body also produces less DHEAS, which acts as a buffer against stress. Without adequate sleep, you lose this natural protection. Think about your last really stressful week. How did you sleep? Most people notice their sleep quality tanks right when they need it most. That's because your activated stress response keeps you alert when your body should be winding down. But here's where it gets interesting. What you eat directly impacts whether you'll get that stress-reducing sleep. Your evening meal timing and food choices influence your body's natural sleep hormone, melatonin. When melatonin releases properly, you fall asleep easier and sleep more deeply. When something disrupts it, you're back to staring at the ceiling. The foods you choose when you eat them and what you drink all play a role in this process. Some choices support your natural sleep rhythm, others work against it even when you think they're helping you relax. Understanding this connection gives you real control over your sleep quality and, by extension, your stress levels. Food, melatonin, and your sleep timing. Melatonin is your body's natural sleep signal. As evening approaches, your brain should start releasing this hormone, telling your body it's time to wind down. But this process doesn't happen in isolation. The foods you eat and when you eat them directly influence how well this system works. Your body needs specific building blocks to produce melatonin. Tryptophan is one key ingredient found in foods like turkey, chicken, eggs, and nuts. Magnesium is another crucial element present in leafy greens, almonds, and whole grains. When you include these foods in your diet, you're giving your body what it needs to produce adequate melatonin. But timing matters just as much as food choice. Eating a heavy meal close to bedtime disrupts melatonin release. Your body shifts its focus to digestion instead of sleep preparation. Research shows that people who eat their largest meals earlier in the day and keep evening meals lighter have better circadian rhythm alignment. Their bodies can focus on producing melatonin rather than processing a heavy dinner. What does light evening meal actually mean? Think of a portion that's about half the size of your lunch, maybe some grilled fish with vegetables, or a simple soup with whole grain bread. You want enough to satisfy hunger without overwhelming your digestive system. The goal is to feel comfortably satisfied, not stuffed. The timing of your last meal matters too. Aim to finish eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. This gives your body time to handle digestion before shifting into sleep mode. When you eat right before bed, you're essentially asking your body to do 2 demanding jobs at once. Certain foods actively work against melatonin production. Heavy proteins late at night require significant digestive effort. Spicy foods can raise your body temperature and cause discomfort. High-fat meals take longer to digest and can disrupt your sleep architecture. I learned this the hard way after a late dinner meeting where I ordered a steak. That night, I tossed and turned for hours, feeling uncomfortable and unable to settle. After that experience, I started experimenting with meal timing. I moved my dinner earlier, kept portions moderate, and chose lighter proteins in the evening. Within a week, I noticed I was falling asleep faster and waking up less during the night. The change was significant enough that I've stuck with it. Don't forget about caffeine. Even if you're not drinking coffee right before bed, caffeine can stay in your system for 6 to 8 hours. That afternoon espresso at 3 p.m. is still affecting you at 9 p.m. If you're having trouble sleeping, consider moving your caffeine cutoff earlier in the day. There's also a connection between junk food and sleep quality that deserves attention. Research on medical students found that those who consumed processed, energy-dense foods more frequently reported worse sleep quality. These foods often lack the nutrients needed for melatonin production and can cause blood sugar fluctuations that disrupt sleep. Your eating pattern creates a foundation for either good sleep or poor sleep. When you align your meals with your body's natural rhythms, eating lighter in the evening and finishing dinner well before bed, you support your melatonin production. This sets you up for the restorative sleep that actually reduces your stress levels. The alcohol sleep truth you need to know. Many people reach for a drink to help them relax before bed. Alcohol does make you feel drowsy initially. You might fall asleep faster after a glass of wine. But here's what most people don't realize. Alcohol fundamentally disrupts your sleep architecture. When you drink alcohol, you're not getting real sleep. You're getting sedation, which is completely different. Sedation knocks you out, but it prevents your brain from cycling through the sleep stages you actually need. Specifically, alcohol suppresses REM sleep, the stage where your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories. What happens is this: you fall asleep quickly, but a few hours later, your body metabolizes the alcohol. This creates a rebound effect. Your sleep becomes fragmented. You wake up multiple times, even if you don't fully remember it in the morning. The second half of your night becomes restless and light. Research confirms that even moderate drinking affects your sleep structure. You might think you slept through the night, but your sleep quality was significantly compromised. Your brain didn't get the deep restorative cycles it needed. If you enjoy having a drink, timing becomes crucial. Give yourself at least 3 to 4 hours between your last drink and bedtime. This allows your body time to metabolize the alcohol before you try to sleep. You can still enjoy social drinking without sacrificing your sleep quality. I'm not suggesting you need to quit drinking entirely. That's not realistic or necessary for most people. But being strategic about when you drink makes a real difference. I noticed that when I stopped having wine with dinner and instead had it earlier in the evening, my sleep improved noticeably. I woke up feeling more refreshed. Alcohol also interacts with the stress-sleep cycle we talked about earlier. When your sleep is disrupted by alcohol, your stress hormones don't regulate properly. You wake up feeling more anxious and less equipped to handle the day. It compounds the problem you were trying to solve. If you're looking for ways to wind down in the evening without alcohol, consider alternatives that actually support melatonin production. Herbal teas like chamomile, a warm bath, or light stretching can help you relax without disrupting your sleep architecture. Sleep is your most powerful stress management tool. When you prioritize it, everything else becomes easier to handle. Your 3-part system: establish a consistent pre-sleep routine, time your meals strategically, and be smart about alcohol. I've created a simple checklist for you: your target bedtime, last meal time, caffeine cutoff, and alcohol window. These small changes made the biggest difference for my stress levels. Start with one change tonight, track it for a week and notice what shifts. Your sleep quality will improve, and with it, your ability to manage stress effectively.